guys, good morning. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's 9 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Probably one of the last times you'll see me in this setting at my family's wonderful house, as tomorrow I will be moving into my new digs, my new crib, my new home. And this is probably the last video from this location. But anyway, on to a serious subject. I've had to restart this video several times because I really want to talk about it. I find it so appalling and unbelievable, and I think it's a variation of right-wing masculinity, or right-wing manhood. That's my opinion on this story. I encourage you guys to go down to the links down below because I'm going to have to be kind of vague if I want this video to get through with monetization and everything. It's a group of men. The story down below is about one man in particular who's been arrested by the FBI for plotting a horrific crime against women. Now, I don't think I could say the group, the name these guys have given themselves. It's basically, the first word is the opposite of voluntary. The second word is what priests are when it comes to marriage and sex life. Okay, bam, bam. That's what they call themselves, or the shortened version of it. Like I said, I encourage you guys to read the links down below. I'm sorry I have to do this, but I really want this video to get through. All right, it's not just one lone wingnut here. This situation has happened before. It's a group of men, or several loose groups of men, who have this belief. And again, I personally believe they are, without a doubt, far right wing. And I'll tell you why. Their propensity for pushing the limits of the Second Amendment, if you read the story down below, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's not even really that. It's their wording about how they feel that they're being denied their right to mate and date the women of their choice. They feel like they're being, these women are being cruel to them. That it's their, their God-given, undeniable heritage to date who they please, to breed and carry on the race. That's the gist of this group of men. It's stuff like this that really scares me. It does to me. This rings of just a scary dystopian, like the early 1940s, just George Orwellian, scary stuff. Every time. That's why I really want to talk about this. I get the distinct feeling that this group of men is kind of like the ugly version of the other right-wing group of men, the P-boys. I get the feeling that they're kind of the redheaded stepchild of the P-boys. I'm sorry if there's any. I didn't mean to insult any any gingers out there, or anybody that it's our stepchildren. But anyway, you get the gist of what I'm saying. And I cannot believe. Well, actually, I can. That there's far right groups of men out there that are just screaming about their victimhood once again. That they're being victimized, that they're being denied, they're being punished. I have seen that word over and over again in right-wing stories, that they're being punished or they're being denied. Let me just talk about my thoughts on dating. Like I said, these guys feel that the women, being men, that these women shouldn't have the option of denying them. It's unfair. They need, they have every right to breed and carry on their line, their lineage. And it's cruel. It's a cruel leftist, Marxist, elite plan to stop their breeding or something like that. It's like I said, it's so bizarre. And it's happened before. This isn't the first time, and there's groups of men that believe this. Here's my thoughts on it. You don't need to be good looking. You don't need to be well endowed. I don't think you need to necessarily to be have a full head of hair. Personally, in my 55 years, if I had to give this group of guys advice I think one of the things that attracts women the most, or a couple of things that attract women the most, if I had to give advice to this bunch of, I hate to say it, but losers, is confidence. Confidence, without a doubt, I think it's an attractive thing in all people. And humor. If you can make a girl laugh, you could, well, I was about to say something really sexist, but humor and confidence. I think these two things in a lot of situations would make up for any, if a guy thought he was ugly or bald or overweight or whatever. Confidence and humor are big attractor for men and for women. If I had a piece of advice, like if you guys notice, I like to work out, and it's not that I think that women find the muscles, they get all worked up about my muscles. It's really about my confidence. I feel good about myself. Like when I walk into a store or a mall. I used to weigh 95 pounds more. I weighed 277. When I first got clean, I gained a lot of weight. And I was almost at 300 pounds. And anytime I walked into a store or anywhere, my clothes didn't fit, I felt disgusted with myself. I kept my head down, and people and women see that. When you talk to women, they see that. It's a sure way to not get a date. On the other hand, I don't worry about stuff like that anymore. I just, and it's not, I don't stand there and flex or anything like that, but I feel confident. I feel good about myself. It almost connects to the video I did about Colin Kaepernick and just feeling good about yourself. The world would be a kinder, better place if kids learned how to be confident and happy with themselves and happy with their other kids. It would go a long way. But I've told you guys before, I grew up, my father died when I was 9 from terminal brain cancer. He was a manly man, taught me how to box, fish, hunt, taught me how to clean my guns, all that stuff. Died when I was 9. So then I grew up with my mother and my sister. I had a lot of estrogen around me, a lot of women. I remember one uncle, I think, was worried about it, that I might turn. So he tried to bring me to, manly events and stuff. I think that's really silly. But one of the best things that I think, this is one of those situations where you make lemonade from lemons. I lost my dad, but growing up with my mother and my sister, I learned to respect women. I think a lot of guys, like this bunch of guys, doesn't understand that women are just people. It sounds ridiculous that I have to say that. You don't need pickup lines. You don't need any of this stuff. One of the biggest things too is listening to women, just listening to what they're talking about. A lot of times it applies to all people. Care about what they're telling you. Try to at least care about it, and women will pick up on that. Like I said, in confidence and humor. I don't think it's about looking like Brad Pitt or having muscles or being well endowed. At the end of the day, women are people. Women have just as much a sex drive or more than guys do. They've just been told that they can't admit that. This is another truth that I found over my last 55 years, is that women think and feel and desire just every little bit as much as guys do, or more, and it's a beautiful thing when a woman lets herself be themselves without worrying about being called a SL blank blank. When you can encourage a woman. A woman could be confident. It could be herself around you. And that is a beautiful thing, believe me. Just some thoughts on this group of, I hate to say this, but loser men that feel entitled and take it to a dangerous, appalling level, taking it out on women. I wish to God that there wasn't twisted men like this in the world, that our world didn't even have people this twisted, or that believing that they're entitled to stuff like this. when all they need to do is just have some confidence. Be funny, make some, be humorous and confident. And I think they won't need half the stuff this guy was planning. Like, anyway, just some of my thoughts on this. You guys, I encourage you to read the link so you have a better idea of what I'm talking about. Have a good Friday. I'll be back later with another video.